Go live, life is peaceful there. Go live in the wintry air. Oh, hey, Grievers. Driving home. And it's a wrap for the week. Wow, 3 days of absolute, my God, I got so much work done. It was full on, it was stressful. I even had a cry. Hey, Will, I saw you were messaging me, but I have to get out of the car park. I don't know if car parks in the States are the same, but once you've paid, you've only got a few minutes to get out before they hit you up with more money. And I was like, oh, I want to listen to his little voice track and respond. And but I didn't want to get hit up for more money. I was going to see what colour the sunset was and whether it was worth doing a little drive around town, but no, it's pretty. It was pink when I walked out of the office. Oh, go. Hey, Cody. I was busy, but I got so much done. You know, you have days where, and trust me, I like a busy day. But you know, you have days where you walk out the door at the end of the day when you're working and you're like, I actually earned every cent today and then some. It was one of those days. It was one of those weeks. I got a lot of stuff done, which was really good. There'll be plenty more there for me when I get to work next week. It's amazing how even like this break between this week and next week's only 4 days and 2 days are part of, the weekend. But it is amazing how much stuff can be in my inbox when I arrive on Tuesday. Oh, you have the time limit thing too. Yeah. So I wasn't ignoring your messages, Will. I was just like, it was a race against the clock. And I went, do I set up a live and go live, or do I respond to Will? And either way, do I end up getting a fine or, hit up some extra coin? Thank you. See how lovely we are here? We let people into traffic and we acknowledge them too. Tasmanians are very polite. Although some of you have seen me be a bit road ragey, but it was warranted. It was warranted. So what's news, Groovers? I always feel like after a few days of working, I've just lost touch with everything. I've lost touch with the whole world, not just the YouTube world, but everything. We've got an election this weekend, so I've got to vote. And I was thinking, oh, I should take you guys to a polling booth, but you can't take cameras and be live on YouTube when you go to vote. I'll have a listen to your message when I get home, Wilbur. But yeah, I can't take you into a polling booth. But after I've voted, I could go live and show you the Australian tradition that is the post-voting democracy sausage. Hey, Francesca. I love the cathedral too. That's St. David's Cathedral that we just went past. It's beautiful. It's the biggest cathedral in Hobart. There's a few, but that's the biggest one. Unfortunately, in recent years, I've been there for funerals more than anything else. But there was also a time when I was there for weddings, and I even performed in a play at St. David's Cathedral, in a play called Every Man. All of the characters in every man a different sort of personality traits, and I can't, like integrity and honesty, and I can't remember which one I was, but it was a good one. Oh, I don't know what motel you're talking about. Don't forget to shout in capitals at me, guys, and I will try to read chat from time to time, but for the most part, you just get to hear me talk. I don't know. I had 20 people watching me when I got home last night. I was like, really? I'm just driving in the dark. But anyway. Oh, a little bit of water on my windscreen. I can give it a bit of a clean. I'm really looking forward to getting home, though. The last 3 days have been so busy, so productive. And I got a really lovely compliment on some of my work today from, we've got like an in-house barrister. I had to prepare a statement on a file, and he was like, oh my God, that statement was excellent. I was like, yes, go me. You remember the Seekers? I'm going to let you in. If you go, 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 go. Good work, good work. I saw the Seekers live a lot too. My mum was at school with Judith Durham, the lead singer. We played 2 songs at her funeral that were by the Seekers. The Carnival Is Over and Colours of My Life. I knew who you were talking about. Last night was fun. Well, maybe we can make it fun tonight too. Got to acknowledge someone for letting me in. Thank you. Oh, that rain's getting a bit heavier now too, which is nice. Clean that windscreen. Because, yes, I left home this morning and went, oh, shit, I haven't bloody wiped my windscreen inside and out again. I love Georgie Girl. I love a lot of Seekers songs. Georgie Girl is one of my favourites because my best friend from my sort of university years when I lived in Adelaide, her name's Georgie. So whenever I call her, I'm like, hey there, Georgie Girl. And in fact, I have to call her this weekend. So she'll be hearing me sing that. And she'll be like, shut the fuck up. That's how cool my bosses are. One of the many phone calls I had today was with one of the partners who said, we're really keen to get you to come over to Adelaide and meet everyone because we Zoom in every day on MS Teams. So we've all seen each other on video. But he was saying it'd be so cool to get you to come over and you can actually meet everyone. And have you got anything coming up in South Australia in the next few months? Because he knows I've got a lot of friends over there. I mean, I lived there for nearly 20 years, and the last job I had, I lived there 2 weeks every month for 4.5 years. And he's like, so let me know when you've got something coming up and you won't have to pay to fly over. We'll fly you over and put you up in our hotel and you can stay on and do whatever you've got to do. And I said, well, my best friend's 50th is in July. Nature is cleaning the window for you, Francesca. Nature is doing its job. I've moved my phone though, so now it's down where the wiper doesn't go. So you've got that little semi-cycle of water, but it's kind of pretty. Okay, I'm not reading chat. I've gone over the bridge and I've got the freeway coming up. So, yeah, but how cool is that? They're like, time your trip over to meet everybody with some event that you've got on so you can catch up with all of your friends at our expense. I was like, oh, my God, You people are cool. You people are cool. I'm cool too because that car in front of me just gave me a friendly acknowledgement for being a lovely person in traffic and letting them in. All the good vibes today. So, yes, I was in tears yesterday at work for a little while, I must admit. Anxiety is a bitch. But I was also very transparent with two of the partners today and said yesterday got the best of me and the better of me, and I did end up in tears. And one of them was like, you've been officially working for us for 4 weeks and you're learning a whole new area of law that you haven't practiced in since the 1990s, and a whole new jurisdiction, and any new lawyer or any new job is stressful enough, but you're also only part-time and you're doing really well. And we all have days like that. And he's like, I've been practicing for 20 years and I still have days where I cry. And I was like, you are lovely, thank you. But they're very quick to address things and come up with solutions if you haven't already. And I'd come up with a couple myself because I've sort of learned that I do actually have a voice where I work, whereas in previous jobs, you know, if you spoke up and made suggestions about things, they'd get poo-pooed, and then a few weeks later in a meeting, one of the managers would bring it up and everyone would go, what a great idea, and you'd be sitting there like, that was my idea. But these guys, and that happens a lot in workplaces, it's awful, people taking credit for someone else's ideas and work. But these guys let me know from the start that they're very much into seeing what we have to bring to the table, and, you know, there's always room for improvement in anything. And they really encourage you, like when you're working on a file, to try to find as many sort of options and solutions as possible, and, you know, do a bit of your own work and then bring it to them, and then they'll add what they think. And it's really productive because we end up like covering every possible scenario with files, and but it also extends to how we run our own practices, and we've got a lot of input, and they listen to you and they put it to the firm. And we had a meeting of lawyers today and they put a few ideas to the lawyers that they were going to implement, and one of them was something I'd mentioned, and it's great. It's very progressive. It's unusual. I'm not used to this sort of support. Sorry, I'm not reading chat at the moment, guys, but I reckon you might all be used to me not saying much when I'm banging along doing 110 Ks. But I feel like I've missed a lot of world news and national news. I know we've got a state election coming up, and I've been heavily involved in conversations about that. Been watching MasterChef. But other than that, I have no idea what's been going on. So if there's any major world news, oops, national news, um, YouTube news, let me know. And if we get stuck in traffic, I'll be able to see what's going on. I love thunderstorms too. Thunder. I do love them more when I'm at home, though. I got struck by lightning once in my car with a friend of mine. I had a convertible and it had the roof up, thank God. And it was the rubber roof, the fabric roof. And it was so that the lightning just kind of hit the car and the car stopped. And Finn and I were both like, fucking hell, we just got struck by lightning. And we were listening to a song at the time called Jesus, which sort of added to the whole experience. But the problem was the car stopped on a really blind corner, a little windy, S-bendy sort of corner over a bridge in Adelaide, over the River Torrens. And then we were freaking out that someone would come running, like driving around that bend and slam into us. And then miraculously the car started and off we went. It was pretty full on. And Finn lived in North Adelaide and we got to his house and he was like, I made a massive pot of soup last night. Do you want to have some? And I was like, yeah, I don't want to drive anywhere for a while. And we sat on his veranda in this full-on storm and had soup and talked about our brush with death. It's not Finn who comes on my channel and whose channel I go on a bit. It's another Finn. But speaking of Finn Bugden, whose channel I go on a bit and who comes on my channel a bit, we're going to do another live. He messaged me to see when I'd be free and I was like, yeah, I'm not quite sure yet. My sister-in-law is now out of lockdown again, or quarantine. She's got freedom again. So I wanted to check in with her and see what her movements are and when we're catching up. So it looks like I might be doing a live with Finn. I haven't told him yet, but maybe tomorrow night. Hi, Carolina. So if you're looking for something to do tomorrow night, come and hang out with Finn and I. We ironically talk about current affairs. We try to take a pseudo-intellectual approach. Sometimes we have a lot of silliness, other times we can get quite serious, but it's good fun. So if you watch this on the replay, Finn, I know he doesn't watch my replays, but in the off chance that you do, how's tomorrow night sounding? Okay? And then I'm going to, Saturday I'm going to possibly catch up with my sister-in-law and my sister. Saturday night I'm actually going out on the town. Look out. I'm socialising. A group of us are going to go and see a friend of mine. He's got a band. We're going to go and see his band playing. So that'll be quite good fun. I will try and straighten up my phone when I'm in slow-moving traffic. I don't want to adjust it, obviously, while I'm driving. Hopefully it's not too kooky an angle for you. So, yes, I'm going to go and see a band on Saturday night in town, and then Sunday I'm going to do a heap of meal prepping. I'm actually going back on full keto because I liked how much energy I had when I did that and also how much clarity I got from doing that. And then Nikki's going to come down. My sister-in-law is coming down now on Monday. And then I'm working again. So, yeah, I've got a few good days coming up. Hey, Nutsy, Raven, hello. Aloha. The phone angle is good. Yeah, well, it's better than losing my license for touching my phone, isn't it? Oh, man, I hope you wear underwear when you go out. Why? What a weird thing to hope. Why do you hope that? I'm almost tempted to go without any on now from you saying that. Why? Oh, and I've got to go and see Donut Girl too. We're going to go and eat donuts. You're all going to watch me eat a donut and suffer because apparently they're amazing. So I'm going to torture all of you. I should have got in the other lane, bugger. Nice view right there. What, me without any undies on? It's not. It's not a view I'd be recommending anytime soon. You're just being silly. Well, I took your comment very seriously because I think I may not wear any underpants. I'll definitely be wearing undies. I don't really like not wearing undies in winter or autumn, late autumn, mid-autumn, whatever we're in. I'm not moving anytime soon because blocking the roundabout is really uncool. But I can sneak in behind this little dude. If he moves up like another inch or two, that'd be nice. Thank you. Thank you. The sky. Yeah, although look at the window. Oh, it's doing that. Yep, now we're back in focus again. It's doing that. I'm contemplating overheating, so I'm going to go all blurry. So I've learned the trick is to wind the window down and then it cools down. Oh, you bastard! The guy behind me didn't let anybody in. You call these traffic circles? That's kind of cool. Circles are my favourite shape. We call them roundabouts. Isn't traffic circles cute? I'm going to call them traffic circles from now on. And all of my friends will be like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I'll be like, traffic circles. You know, where the traffic goes around in a circle. And they'll be like, that's a roundabout. I'll be like, not anymore. It's a traffic circle. And they'll be like, where did you learn that? And I'll be like, a Canadian taught me that. And they'll be like, oh, if it's from Canada, we'll do that too. That's how that conversation will go. So come on, share the news. What's news? I grabbed a packet of cheese twisties. I don't normally eat snack foods these days, but since I'm going on keto on Sunday or Monday night, because I won't do keto. Oh, maybe I'll do keto for Nikki. So I've got some cheese twisties. Yum, yum. I'm so hungry in the car when I drive home. I took 2 apples with me today and I drove one, ate one, I drove one. I drove an apple today. I ate one driving into work this morning. And I ate the other one in the afternoon, which was weird because I caught up with a friend and we went and had bento for lunch. And I had a huge bowl of katsudon chicken. And it was so tasty, it woke up my taste buds. And I got back to the office and I'm like, I'm eating that other apple, god damn it. Yeah, the night sky is beautiful, isn't it? Like the highlight on the clouds at the moment because we're having this harvest moon. So heaps of people in Tassie are uploading really stunning photos because for the last few nights we've had a harvest moon. You know, some of you were with me the other night and I was saying how big the moon was and somebody in chat said it's a pink moon. But I've discovered it's also called a harvest moon. And, yeah, I love driving apples. I much prefer driving an apple to driving in a banana. They're too squishy. Everyone should learn to drive an apple or a rock melon. Or a cantaloupe. Or a plum. Or a Chinese gooseberry. Or as my grandmother would say, it's gooseberry. Gooseberry, Victoria. Oh, sorry, Grandma. Could I have a Chinese gooseberry, please? They're yummy. Not as yummy as these cheese twisties at the moment, though, because that's all I got in the car. Ruth's here. Oh, you made the apple comment. Hello, Ruth. So come on, guys, tell me what be the news of the tubes? I didn't even do my usual put YouTube on while I'm washing my lady this morning and making breakfast, and if I haven't made lunch, but I didn't need to make lunch because I had lunch with Jane. We went to Bento, but I got no clue. In fact, I pressed snooze on my phone alarm 3 times this morning. I'm usually out of bed long before 6 a.m. And I snoozed and I snoozed and I snoozed, and the next alarm was going to go off at 6:10. And I was awake. I just didn't want to get out of bed yet. A little Miss Sunshine, who had at 6:15, where I normally am well and truly out of bed, she, if I'm not at 6:15, she pulls herself along the side of my bed with her claws. Biscuit used to do it too. It's like they're sweeping the floor for me. And I ignored her and snoozed. But anyway, at 6:10, she got up on the bed and came right up to me, and she did the cutest little meow. Oh, my God, she's got the tiniest little voice. But normally when she talks to me, she's sort of like that's it. Like there's not much to it at all. But this morning she did a perfect little meow. And I was like, oh, look at you using your words. It was so cute. And when I went out to the kitchen, she had devoured all of her dry food and all of her wet food. Like she's a bit of a grazer. There was no food. I was like, oh, Bubs, you're hungry. And she was like, meow. And did a little. You're going in the closet? Oh, have you got a tornado happening, mate? You have 2 cats, Carolina. Lovely, lovely. There's a lot of cat lovers on the tubes. And there's a few creators that always say, oh, you always know a troll because they've always got cat in their names. And there are a lot of people that have cat in their YouTube names. But I just think, well, there's other people that have got cat in their names who are clearly not trolls. I just think there's a shitload of cat lovers on YouTube. I mean, let's be honest. Before people could go live on YouTube, most of us used YouTube to watch music videos, listen to music that we loved, and to watch silly cat videos, right? Oh, and a little chihuahua. Yeah, we'll bunker down. Stay safe, Groover. We love you. He's, honestly, the weather that I see him, he sends videos sometimes of tornadoes and storms, and it's all just like hardcore over the top. Like we're a little island and we've got really rugged coastline, especially on the west coast. And we do get some extreme weather patterns, but nothing like what poor Will has to endure. Yeah, Will was a storm chaser. We'll have to get you up on panel soon, Will, so you can tell us all about when you're a storm chaser. I used to think that would be the coolest thing to do. When I was in Kansas City, Missouri, we used to get tornado warnings all the time, and the sort of, not the voyeur in me, but like the adventurer in me was like, I want to see a really big one, like out of The Wizard of Oz, and I never did. But yeah, 1 mile's pretty close. What's that, 2.5 Ks? I apologise to you for my camera or my phone being moody. Oh, look at that. The windscreen wipers made my camera focus again. Oh, Will just sent me another video too. I've got all these videos and voice tracks to listen to, Wills, when I get home. I can't wait to get home. Although, what am I going to have for dinner? Actually, I might have freezer surprise. Oh, no, I know what I'm going to have. I've got one last Middle Eastern pizza in the freezer. I'm going to have that. Moroccan lamb, actually. It's Moroccan lamb. So really spicy lamb mince, and it's actually, the base of it is actually smeared with hummus, and then I put Greek yogurt and rocket and lots of lemon juice, and I toast up a little handful of pine nuts. So good. Yeah, storm chasers are bonkers. But what a rush. You had a tornado in Minnesota. Jesus, Raven. Is it common to have tornadoes? See, we don't really have tornadoes here. We have cyclones. We get a lot of tropical cyclones, but they're all, coastal ones. I mean, there probably are tornadoes happening in Central Australia in the outback, but we just don't know about them because nobody lives there. Because Texas is kind of a bit like the Australian version of the outback in a way, in terms of where it's positioned. Although I know Texas has coastline, but the northern bit of Texas. We don't really get earthquakes here either. I mean, we do get little tremors because that's just what land masses do, but we haven't had any like absolutely insane earthquakes like other parts of the world. The worst natural disaster for us is bushfires, followed by floods. Not common at all. Yeah, so that'd freak you out. You'd be like, what the fuck? I mean, that'd be like if we suddenly had a tornado warning, we'd all be like, shit, what do we do? I'd be screwed. My house is on stilts. I'd end up being that house in The Wizard of Oz with the tornado that flies past. Is that Auntie M's actual house, or is it just some other random house? No, it's Auntie M's house, I think. The one that lands on the witch. That's Auntie M's, isn't it? Or is it just some other random? I can't remember. Don't apologise about spell check, Will. I can't read a frigging thing unless you all yell at me. And you've gone back to lowercase. So I'm amazed I haven't read what I just read. But I do love getting home after a day's work where you're like, yep, I earned my money today, and um, I worked my butt off, and I couldn't have done any more than I did. It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. And after yesterday, I came up with a heap of coping strategies, and I was like our file management system. Yesterday, I had about 20 files open. It's all digital. And I was jumping from file to file and updating file notes, blah, 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 blah. And that added to my anxiety. And so today I was like, open a file, work on it, finish the work on it, close it, move on to the next one. I'm so sorry about how average the footage is. It's really bad. This phone overheating thing is really pissing me off. I might have to invest in a more expensive cover, because this cover's got a lining that's almost like a fleecy blanket in it. It's like, apparently it's a shock absorber, but it's like, yeah, but you're actually making my phone overheat. I didn't want to spend $60 on a phone case, so I spent 25. You get what you pay for. Like $60 for a phone case is ludicrous. I know that they're protecting your phones, and phones cost a lot more and everything, but the cover I got is an exact copy of another brand that costs $60 that I paid 25 for, but obviously the materials are slightly different because it's making my phone a little bit too toasty warm all the time. But you know, $60, I mean, that's what I spend on fresh fruit and veggies for a week and a half. You know, when you look at it that way, you go, that's such a lot of money for a bit of plastic. When you're on a part-time wage, every cent counts, and $60, when that can cover a lot of groceries, well, fresh fruit and veggies. I know what I'd rather spend the $60 on. Things I can eat for nearly 2 weeks. In fact, some things that I buy I can eat in 2 weeks because everything's so fresh here. Like most of the veggies and fruits we buy were picked the day we buy them, so they got a lot of life in them. I wish I had a zucchini. I'd love to make some ratatouille. I don't make ratatouille with eggplant. I can't stand eggplant. I make it with zucchini. Living week to week is exhausting. It is. But that'll change soon. Another possible remedy for my stress levels, because I've got a lot of files, and when you practice law, there are files that often lie dormant, like they're just sitting there like a little pot bubbling over because you're waiting for a medical report, or you're waiting for a hearing date, or you're waiting for documents that you've requested. You know, so there's not a lot happening on a file, and that means you can focus on the other files that need to be actioned. but all of my files are in the action stage at the moment. There's a lot of shit going on. Because I'm doing my work, I'm making things happen. But as a result of that, I've been flat chat. But one of the partners said today, do you want to consider doing 6 days a fortnight? We won't pour more files onto you because you're already doing enough for 6 days a fortnight. So your workload's not going to increase, but you're going to have that extra day just to spread the work out a bit more. And I was like, bring it on. Let's look into that. But I'm going to leave it for a couple of weeks because I've only been working for them full-time, or not full-time, but as a lawyer for 4 weeks. So he agreed. He's like, yeah, let's see how you feel in a couple of weeks' time. But I think it's potentially a good option. Like, I would really benefit from that. And the other option that he said was, if you like, you can do one of your days from home. Now, I wouldn't want to do a day from home every week because Sunny, if I'm home, she just wants me to chase her around the house the whole time. She's got an obstacle course. She goes through tunnels and under tables and over furniture. She flies through the air. She goes out into her enclosure. She bloody hides behind things and jumps out at me when I walk past. It'd be too distracting, but I reckon 1 day a week, 1 day a fortnight from home would be good. And I've got like a study nook that she can access, but I was thinking I could make one of my spare bedrooms an actual office and close the door. She'll only see me when I come out to make a cuppa or get my lunch. I am more productive at the office, though. I think I probably would opt for the office. But it's nice to know I've got that work from home option if I need it. And weirdly, I've got heaps of clients that live like in Sorell, the little town we just went through, and also down on the peninsula. Like there's I've got a lot. There's even 2 clients in the little coastal town where I live. So I could bundle all of my appointments with them in on that day and work from home and go and see all of them and do what I've got to do and then do my admin at home. That could be an option too. Because, yeah, it's ridiculous. I've got at least 7 clients down this way. It's very convenient. So yesterday morning I had a 9 o'clock appointment in Sorell, which was lovely because I didn't have to be out the door at 7:30 in all the traffic. I got to go and see my client when the traffic wasn't so heavy. It was lovely. Hey to everyone who's been dropping in and anyone who's no longer here, thanks for dropping in. Anyone who's watching and not chatting, g'day to you. Anyone who watches the replay, this is just a very dark drive home in the rains. But I finished for the week, so I'm happy. My weekend starts tomorrow. Yeah, stay safe, Will. Good night, Carolina. Good to see you. Do you know what's really annoying? The way the rain's falling, it's cleaning my front windscreen, but there's not even a drop on my rear windscreen, which is also, the rain be getting heavier now. Nearly home. Sorry I haven't been able to read chat. My concentration is even more necessary when it's raining. I'm happy that it's raining. It'll be topping up my water tank. I'm hoping that we get a storm tonight because I love storms and I love it when I'm all cozy in the house with Sunny and it's raging outside. My house is so cozy. It's lovely. In summer, I open up all the doors and just sit in the doorway and watch it all, but it's not warm enough to do that now. But rain and storms are fun. I don't like wind, though. And I'm not talking wind, I'm talking weather wind. Thank you to people dropping in and heading out and stuff. I appreciate it. As you know, sometimes these drives are really just hang out and just sometimes I'll think of something funny. Last night was good fun. But although I haven't been able to read chat, I don't think any of you have shared any world news or any YouTube news or anything like that. I would imagine YouTube, it's just the same old shite. I'll let you know if I'm going up on Finn's channel tomorrow. But if I don't do that on Saturday, we might go and get the donuts. Because I think Sunday night, is when I start keto. I think the new week starts on a Sunday. So I'll be doing a lot of shopping and meal prepping and stuff on Sunday. So I might do some cooking from the Shitty Kitty Kitchen on Sunday. And even though I'm doing keto, I'm going to be doing keto from, I know the keto rules now. I'm going to be doing a lot of keto dishes from recipe books that I've got. Like Yota Motalangi does so many beautiful vegetarian dishes. His favourite ingredients are vegetables. So I'm going to swap out a lot of the recipes in my meal plan with ones from I've got so many cookbooks and I'm like, just start going through your cookbooks and finding keto-friendly things to do. I'll probably be low carb, to be honest, because today when I was eating bento, I was reminded how much I missed rice the last time I went full keto. But if you go low carb, you can still have rice. You just got to try and have it at lunchtime, not at dinner time. But I'm really sorry I haven't been able to read chat much. It's kind of bad conditions to be even looking. And this is the area where the wildlife frolic. So I'm on high alert. But yeah, so we'll do some cooking and I will be doing a lot of vegetarian stuff. Sometimes I'll do some protein to have with it, but sometimes it might even just be like eggs, which is still vegetarian friendly. The vegans probably won't get into my channel, but there's plenty of other vegans doing cooking on YouTube. I'm not a fan. I could go, if I was told by a doctor that I had to go vegetarian, I'd survive, I'd be fine because I love my veggies and I love salads. But if I was told I had to go vegan, I wouldn't. One of my nephews is vegan and he loves it, but he loves it because he's found all of these sort of plant-based alternatives to meat things. And I was like, no, if I went vegan, I'd have to just eat vegan and not try to convince myself I'm having a piece of chicken or a hamburger or Not that I eat hamburgers anyway, but you know what I mean? Like he'll eat vegan burgers. But I can't do that. If I was craving a burger, I'd want an actual real no mucking around burger. I wouldn't want some thing that looks like a burger but it's made out of tofu. No, thank you. But yeah, we may do some cooking because I like to make snacks for when I do this keto eating. I love it. The energy levels that just like it's almost overnight. You feel amazing. I think it'd be really good too for my concentration at work. Not that I've been distracted, but I know that I'll be even more focused. But I make like lots of little bliss balls, protein balls, things like that. So yeah, there'll be some yummy little snacky things as well. The downside for keto is they're not big on fruits or low carb because a lot of fruits have got carbs in them. But my favourite fruit, the blueberry, is allowed. But I'll probably choose one of Yosham's books and get some seasonal recipes and just make some really yummy vegetarian stuff. And yeah, if people want to throw a bit of protein with it, I'll be like, this would be delicious with steak or chicken or fish. I will still have a lot of fish. So the vegetarians will be like, yeah, yeah. That's a name that my godson came up with for people who are vegetarian but they eat seafood. The vegetarians. Nearly home, guys. Thanks for hanging with me. I hope you all have lovely days or evenings. I hope Will is safe. It's bizarre. Like since I met Will a few years ago, a couple of years ago now on YouTube, there probably hasn't been a month that he hasn't sent me. I mean, we message a lot, but I reckon every month that we've messaged, there's been at least one crazy storm or tornado or something going on where he lives. It's insane. He spends a lot of time in his bunker. But I guess it's just part of where you live, you know, you just adapt. But it's pretty full on. So hang in there, brother Will. Sonny and I send you lots of love. Stay safe, Garuva. I love getting home to Sonny. She's at the door to greet me. But last night I just said to her, a friend of mine said, just tell her to step back. And I did, and she did. So go Sunny Bunny. Step back, kiddo. And she did. I still block the door a bit with a bag, but that kid can jump. It's no obstacle for her. But so far, so good. Well, Groovers, we're home. Thank you for keeping me company. Have a lovely evening, morning, whatever you're up to. Smile at a stranger today. Oh, I just stalled. And chat froze ages ago as well. I could finally read it and it hasn't moved. But I love you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me on the drive home and see you over the next few days on the YouTubes. Love you, Grievers.